Hi guys, I'm Mehak, and for today's video I'll be doing a full face of first impressions. In my previous video, which was a haul video, I showed y'all a lot of the things that I bought from the Nykaa Pink Friday sale and the Myntra End of Reason sale. It's been about a month since I've bought a lot of those things and I haven't tested all of them yet. So, just about one or two products that I have tried because I couldn't wait. But there are a lot of things that I haven't tried even once, which is why in this video y'all and I will know how the products perform. So let's get started. To start off with primer, I have the NYX Honeydew Me Primer. That's how the product looks like. It comes with these small little gold flakes and it has a small spatula and the consistency looks very runny and sticky. Let's see. For application, I'll be taking the wand directly and I'll be striping the product on the T-zone and around my nose because that's where I use primer usually. The consistency of the primer is definitely very runny and sticky, so you don't need a lot. Just the very little bit that is there on the wand is more than enough for your T-zone and around the nose if that's where you apply your primer. And because this is so runny and sticky, I'm going to give it about 1 or 2 minutes to settle into my skin, and after that we'll jump onto foundation. So I've given the primer about 2 minutes to settle into my skin, and I don't know if y'all can see, but it is definitely sticky. So every time I touch my face, my fingers have the tendency to stick to it. For foundation, I have the Maybelline the Super Stay foundation. This claims to stay up to 24 hours. And it also claims to be full coverage, but the foundation comes with a pump like that, and this is in the shade 312 Golden. For the foundation, I'll be using a sponge on half of my face and a brush on the other half, and then at the end of the application I'll decide which one suited best for the foundation. I just got done applying the foundation, and my right was with the help of the beauty sponge and my left was with the help of a dense kabuki foundation brush. And both of these tools I have been using for about a year or so I definitely trust both of them. And for the foundation, I'm just coming closer to the camera for you all to see. This side was with the help of a sponge. So if you can see a lot of my acne scars, it hasn't been covered up completely, but it's definitely hidden up to some extent. So I'd say this side with the help of the beauty blender was definitely medium on coverage, not high. It's not full coverage, at least on this side. And it's comparatively more dewier when you'll compare it to the brush side. So the brush side over here, you can see a lot of my scars are hidden, not completely, but up to some extent. Better than the one with the beauty blender, sorry, the sponge. And even the mole over here, it's covered up to some extent. And this side is definitely better on coverage than this side, and this is definitely more matte as compared to the right side. So that's bound to happen because when you use a beauty blender or a sponge, any sponge in general, they're soaked in water, so they're not dripping wet. So when I squeeze my sponge, you don't get water out, but it's definitely on the damp side, so the foundation tends to get absorbed by the sponge and it leaves a more dewy, a more fresher look. But on the other hand, when you're using a brush, especially a brush like this, which is a dense, fluffy kabuki brush, they tend to absorb lesser of the product because the brush is so tightly packed, the foundation can't enter inside. It gives you a more matte effect because there's no moisture in this. So yeah, I think I really can't choose between which side I like better. If you're someone who likes medium coverage but still wants that dewier look, go for the sponge. But if you're someone who likes high coverage and doesn't mind the matte effect, go with the brush. For concealer, I'll be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This is how the concealer looks like. I'm sure you guys must have seen this somewhere. It comes with a little sponge tip applicator on the top, and I've used this concealer before, so I know how I feel about this, but on camera I'm going to be using it today. For the concealer, I am a big fan of this concealer. If I didn't mention before, I'm in the shade 144 Caramel, and this concealer matches me to the dot. So I'm not using it to highlight, but I'm just using it to conceal any dark circles or spots or acne scars. Right now, I've just used it underneath my eye and around my mouth to cover up any pigmentation. So like I mentioned, I love this concealer a lot. I've used it about 3 or 4 times already, and it just has this very beautiful finish. It's not very matte, nor is it very satiny, but I still have to set the concealer. I haven't done that yet. For the formulation, this is a really nice, I don't want to say thin or thick because it falls right in the middle, and with the sponge tip applicator you can't really figure out if it's a runny consistency or if a thick consistency, but it's not thick. It is a really beautiful creamy formula, so it becomes very easy to blend with the help of a sponge or even a brush, whatever you guys prefer. But will highly recommend this concealer. It's beautiful, and just the finish is not matte, it's not satin, it's somewhere in the middle, and I just love this concealer. For powder, I am very excited for this product. This is the K Beauty powder. What is it called? Wait. This is the K Beauty HD Setting Loose Powder, and this is enriched with avocado and mango butter. This is how the product looks like. This is in the shade Olive. If you guys want the close-up of the products or the packaging of the products, I have added all of those clips in my haul video, so you can go and check that out. But now for the satisfying part. So for the powder, this comes with a stopper like that, and here is the actual powder. So there is a small piece of mesh over here, if you can see. There's a small piece of mesh, and that prevents the powder from just blowing all the way out. And this obviously stops the product from flying everywhere again. I'll be using a sponge to set my concealer underneath my eye, and with the help of a fluffy brush, I'll use a powder to set all over my face. I really hope you guys can see the difference. So this is the part where I've used the powder, and this is the part that I've not set yet. But if you guys can't see, I'm just gonna tell you all. Over here, it's definitely on the matter side, if that's even a word. It's definitely matte, but something that I'm loving about this is that it's reducing the size of my pores, as in appearance of my pores. So I didn't bake underneath my eye or around my nose. What I essentially did was pick up a little bit of powder with the help of the damp sponge, and you just press it in straight directly onto the skin. So what it does is that it pushes the product into the skin, so any moving of your cream products, so concealer or foundation, will be lesser. For the powder, like I told you, it is giving me this really beautiful like illusion effect. I don't know what that is, but it says that it's an HD powder, so shouldn't have any flashbacks either. And the packaging is super smart. The stopper and then the mesh on the container, all of that is really good. And the shade Olive, which I think is 06, is also pretty close to my skin tone. The color is over here exactly, and it's so finely milled that you don't even have to do a lot of the work, and it doesn't show up in small pieces or anything like that under your eyes. It's very smooth to the touch, so feels very soft every time you touch your face. So I had this product, which is the Etude House Play Stick 101. I bought this for the purpose of contouring slash bronzing, but this is a cream product and it totally slipped my mind. I've already used powder all over my face, so I think this will have to wait for another video. Now that we're done with the base makeup, at least the primer, foundation and the powder, I guess we can hop on to eyes. For eyes, I have two of these. These are gel eyeshadow from the brand Lotus, and one is in this really beautiful blue color while the other is in a brown. I guess I'm going to use the blue. For that, I'll have to work a little on my crease, so I'll do a little bit of a brown smoky eye-ish. But I'll leave the inner lid empty and I'll use this on my inner lid. I just got done with the eyeshadow. I used a lighter brown on the crease and darker brown on the outer crease, and then I used a dark brown on my lower lash line as well. And for the start of the show, I'll be using this blue eyeshadow on my lid. So I just got done using the blue on my eye. I used a flat brush, this brush, and the gel eyeshadow to cut my crease. I am really happy with the way this product worked out. It's just that it doesn't look the same blue in all the lightings. It's not a negative point or anything like that, but it's blue at some point and then it's like this silvery color, and yeah, like it hits different every time. I mean, it looks different every time the light hits the eyeshadow. In one coat it's not really that opaque, so I'd recommend you do two coats. So do one coat and like let it dry for about 1 or 2 minutes, and then take the product again and go over it again, which will lead to higher intensity. For liner, I have the L'Oreal Black Lacquer liner, and for mascara I have with me the Luxurious Lashes mascara from Kiko. I just got done with liner and mascara. I've just used mascara on one eye, this eye. I hope you guys can see. Yeah, you guys can see the difference. The mascara is definitely lengthening, so the length of my lashes is definitely a lot longer than it is, and that's the wand. So like you can see, it has a lot of these small spikes all over, and the wand in general is just like this really huge wand. So you have to spend a little bit of time at the roots of your lashes. So you have to wiggle the wand a little at the roots of your lashes so that all of your lashes are in these small spikes, and then when you go up it'll coat every single lash. So you have to spend some time at the root of your lashes, and then just the difference is mind-blowing. It definitely lengthens. I don't see a lot of volume. It actually is giving me, has a tendency, I would say, to give me those spidery lashes. It can end up being a little clumpy, but if you do what I said, the wiggling at the roots, so that every single lash of yours is in the middle of one of these spikes, and then every time you go up, all of the lashes are evenly coated. Now that I'm done with the mascara and the liner, I'm hopping on to brows. And for brows, I'm using the Etude House Drawing My Brow. The brow pencil did a good job. The angle on the pencil, as you can see, it makes it easier for you to draw the eyebrow, and obviously the spoolie is always helpful to blend the product in. So I don't have any new blush, bronzer or highlight. I'll be using my older products for that, and if you're curious as to what I'm using, I'll mention the products in the description box below. But except that, I'll be doing those 3 steps off camera, and I'll come back for the lips. I just got done with the blush, bronzer and highlight. I've opted for a more silvery highlight than usual because I normally prefer champagne golden colors on my skin. But just the reason why I'm using a silver highlight is because the blue, when it hits the light at some point, it does look like silver. And then for blush and bronzer and the highlight, I'll mention the details in the description. All my face products, my bronzer, blush and highlight, they went on pretty smoothly on top of the powder, so that wasn't an issue. And finally for lips, this product wasn't there in the haul because I got this product after I was done filming the video. This is from Biotique. Biotique just recently, they've launched their makeup line. It has some foundation, I think they have some blushes and a lot of lip products. So this is the packaging of, this is the carton box that the product comes in. Really beautiful, there's this woman on it. And for the product, this is the lip gloss that I've got from them. and it comes in like this chocolate brown cap with this golden rim, and it's like an acrylic bottle. I have this in the shade Pixie Dust, and that's the wand. So that's the final makeup look completed, and here's the look. So those were all the products that I had to test in today's video, and this was just the first impressions, so over time my opinion about these products might change. On that, let's sum all of our thoughts about every single product. For the first product, which is the Honeydew Me Primer, this is a really great primer if you're looking for a gripping primer, something that can hold your foundation in place. I think that will be a really good primer for anyone with normal to combination skin and also dry skin type, because it's more on the I would say moisturizing end, because it has a sticky runny texture. For that, I would recommend that to anyone with normal or combination or even dry skin type. If you're from the oily skin type and you want to still use it, you can obviously give it a shot, but just remember that it's not like an actual normal primer where it's probably pore filling or it gives you a mattifying effect, nothing like that. It's definitely not pore filling. It's more on the side where its job is to grip on the skin so that the foundation sticks better. For the foundation, the Maybelline Superstay foundation, I was pretty impressed with this foundation. Especially the coverage was beautiful, and I have to say, not disappointing. The pump is obviously always a plus, and the color matches me to the dot. The coverage, like I mentioned, it's a medium to full coverage foundation. It's definitely matte, so if you're from the dry category, dry skin type, you will have to use a more moisturizing primer, and obviously it's really good to have a matte foundation. Anyone with oily skin type. For the concealer, like I mentioned before, I really love this concealer. It has a beautiful creamy formula, good medium to full coverage. You can obviously build it up if you want extreme coverage, and really beautiful even for everyday. Powder, the K-Beauty powder was not disappointing at all. It was really good, finely milled, soft to the touch. It had this blurring effect, and it claims that it's HD. So obviously won't give you a flashback, that's what I'm hoping. And the packaging is just too smart. For this eyeshadow, like I mentioned before, it's pretty and it's something that I haven't seen a brand like Lotus come out with before. So yeah, it's always great to see brands venturing out to do different, more unique things. And the color is really pretty. This blue color, it changes the shade a little with different lighting, so you'll get a different color every time the light hits the eyeshadow, and very easy to work with. And if you were to get a more wearable color, it would also be great to use as an all over lid shadow if you were running late for probably like a wedding or some event. But yeah, overall this was also a great product. For mascara, this mascara was definitely a game changer. One of my favorite products from all of the products that I've tried today. And it says that it's extra volume brush mascara, but it is definitely lengthening and was really beautiful to wear on the eyes. For liner also, I kind of have mixed thoughts about this, because the little tip that's there at the end of, the tip that you use to draw the liner, the tip is, I don't know, something that I've never tried before, so I'm not so used to it. But the product that you have to dip again and again into the bottle to get more on the tip. So it's just like longer for you to draw the liner. Not that it's not pointed at the end or anything like that, but I think I'll have to get used to this product to actually like it. For the eyebrow pencil, not disappointing at all. I would say this is a really good pencil, especially for the price. I think this retails somewhere around, I am not very sure, but I got on a sale, so it was comparatively cheaper. But this is a really good pencil if you're looking out for a new pencil, and with the angle, again, like I mentioned, it makes it easier to draw the little strokes for your eyebrows, my bad. And obviously the spoolie is always helpful, and the color that I've bought over here, I'll mention the color in the description box below. It also suits me pretty well. Plus, it wasn't one of my favorite products. This, I would say, was a little disappointing for me because the product overall, the actual lip gloss is actually pretty thick and it's goopy. So your lips, they look very just dead, and they don't look like they have gloss on top, and it's not also very glossy, so it doesn't give you that juicy lip effect that you get when you use a lip gloss. For a fact, also the wand isn't the greatest. So if you can see the wand, it has this really small tip at the top, which is actually pretty small for a lip gloss, I feel. But if you have thinner lips and using a small wand is helpful, you'll probably like this. But for me, the formula is so goopy and thick, I think the wand should have been made a little stronger so that it becomes easier to spread the product across the lips. But yeah, not my most favorite lip gloss. Overall, the formula, I think, could have been better. So that completes the video. I hope you guys had fun watching me experiment with all of these new products. And my opinion about these products could obviously change because the first time you use a product, you can't really conclude how you feel about it overall. So over time, I will keep on trying these products and I will let you guys know how I feel about it eventually. But that's it from my side today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye!